Hello, welcome to Forever and Ever Show with me, Olajumoke Adewumi. We're all fighting against time, and indeed, growing old is inevitable. We want to enjoy our relationship, we want to live our life to the fullest, yet there are some medical issues that do come with advanced age. We have issues like diabetes, arthritis, high blood pressure, and the list goes on. But those things, those medical issues can sometimes indeed be managed by a change of lifestyle and nutrition. Today I have with me Professor Udosen and Mrs. Udosen. Professor Udosen is a retired professor of biochemistry and is now contract lecturer at the University of Calabar. Mrs. Udosen is a nutritionist. She's a trained midwife and a teacher. So thank you so much, Ma, for gracing our show, Forever and Ever Show today. Yes, we want to talk about age and the issues that come up with it. I've recently found that I'm now in my menopausal years, and my doctor is now advising me that I need to watch what I eat, which came so strange, and I've never actually looked at the issues that surround menopause until recently when I now started seeing the symptoms. So now I knew that I need to pay attention. So Ma, can you please tell us what menopause is?
Yeah. Menopause is a natural process that occurs in a woman from ages of about 40 to even 51. Depending on how early you started your menstruation, an individual started her menstruation. At this time, the eggs are completely not coming up again, and there is no ovulation, and a hormonal condition of estrogen and progesterone is completely reduced at a lower level, and making man want to become a man, from the name Menopause, which means menstruation is stagnated.
That is very true, and that is one of, when it's stagnated, we see symptoms like bloating. I think that was one of the first things that I noticed in my own case. Started bloating, and even you exercise very well, you still feel that you are putting on weight endlessly, no matter how much you try. Are there something that one can do, ma'am, that can probably manage this particular challenge?
Yeah, indeed. There are so many things that one can do nutritionally and inclusively our personal lifestyle. Nutritionally, if we mind what we eat and we mind what we drink, if we are used to drinking a lot of alcohol and smoking, it may enhance menopause. And at the same time, if we continue to eat all these highly processed, refined foods like red meat and doing away with fish or food filled or full or that is rich with calcium and vitamin D, one can predispose to having menopause. At the same time, too, some researchers says if you reduce in sexual relationship or intercourse, you are prone to having menopause.
Can you take that again, Ma? If we, the issue of sexual intercourse.
We can prevent or delay menopause when we have regular sex. That can delay menopause. And I will say that with my own idea, with the sperm cell that comes with testosterone, that can really, if a lot of testosterone is within the blood, that makes you to become a man and it enhances. But where there is less testosterone going into the blood cycle, much of the estrogen and progesterone can be reactivated and that can also delay menopause. It is vis-a-vis, that is, increased testosterone, you becoming a man, enhances menopause. But where there is activity of increased estrogen level and increased progesterone, where your ovarian cells are rejuvenated, according to researchers, that can delay menopause.
Wow. I think that is intriguing. We never knew that. Delay, I think that's the delay that is the major issue, delay, but it's inevitable at the end of the day. So what are the things does one need to put in place to delay or manage menopause, ma'am?
Like I said initially, one's lifestyle is very, very important. Like I said earlier, if you reduce, say, the intake of alcohol, I will start with that first, and smoking, that can deter menopause. And if we mind, importantly, the type of diet that we eat, we look into nutrition, because some people eat to die, some eat to live. And like I sit here, I want to live and eat and live. When you go to highly processed food, refined foods, that can really, really inhibit a lot of physiological changes or activity in the body, thereby enhancing the production of these male hormones, testosterone, that makes me to become a man as from age 40 to age 60. So I will really instruct a lot of people on selection of diet, what they choose, not to take all these fatty foods, junk foods, like going to take away food, especially I can remember when I was living and working in England, my daughter will always say, "Mommy, can we go there and take away?" I say, "No, I must cook my food," where we eat a lot of vegetables, like carrots, cabbage, and take a lot of vegetables like carrot, cabbage, and a lot of fruit like strawberry, red tomatoes, and etc. It has a lot of micronutrients and a lot of vitamins that help to regenerate the cells, thereby rebuilding and rejuvenating our tissues. But where you see an individual not taking even dairy foods like milk that is rich in calcium and vitamin D, one is predisposed to resulting in having or ending up in early menopause. Then some women, they don't like drinking water. We advise or instructed to take at least 8 glasses of water a day to about 12 glasses. Then some women are sedentary workers, where they don't do regular exercises. This can also enhance menopause. So I will really come to the fact that, or arrive at the fact that we really, really need to look into diet, which is very important. Stop all these fries and get to whole grain, take to soya milk and drink beans, and take to calcium-rich foods like oyster crabs and periwinkles. I don't know whether you have it out there.
Periwinkle.
What is available in the markets?
I'm sure we can find it. We can find it. Fantastic. But the challenge is, I think the challenge for most of us, a lot of people probably know that they should stay away from junk food. It's just that the taste board. How can we train our taste board? But I think that's the challenge that most of us have.
What we should do is self-control. Really, really looking into, when we look at, like I said earlier, that some eat to die. And when we empower people, we inform the nation, we inform the state, we take to our churches the type of foods and the disadvantages of taking all these junk foods, I think it will really help to bring down the appetite. Because when you know that this is going to kill you, everybody wants to live long. So I think that too can taper down our longing. And at times, some of these attractive foods, organoleptics, something that you see fanciful, lovely, attractive food, enhances appetite. And once you perceive the mental set of perceiving this aroma of food, enhances. So I will also instruct or advise us or suggest that we do not go near, which is very difficult, those areas like you pass the street of London, the street of where, in England, you perceive all this aroma. It enhances mental taste, which also enhances our taste buds. And we start salivating, and then our stomach will not stay put. You see, the gastric juice, it releases, and we feel like. So education is paramount. Let's carry that to our churches, even at our doorstep. That will reduce that sense of taste that enhances our eating all these junk foods. The mere looking at the food and seeing the food. And taking some snacks before going out will also reduce our appetite of having that gluttony. I would put it, that covetousness of having those things, being greedy over it. So it will subdue the appetite.
Interesting, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir. Ma'am. Sir, thank you so much. I'm thinking men have their own issues as well. Have erectile dysfunction, diabetes, and this also requires a change in lifestyle and nutrition. What are your thoughts on that, sir?
Well, as my wife said, nutrition is very important, because if we take these junk foods, contain a lot of salt, which is not good for high blood pressure. The table salt enhances high blood pressure. That is excessive intake of the junk food. A lot of salt is being put in there. And Maggie. So we should avoid this high risk food. And also the oil. The food is oily. And so it's not good for our body. So we should avoid too much table salt and too much oil. Erectile dysfunction is also affected by diet. The weak erectile function, men age can be a factor. Diet can also be a factor. So, and also what we drug, excessive intake of drugs can also be a factor in erectile dysfunction. So we should mind what we eat. Lifestyle is very important as far as the erectile dysfunction is concerned. Smoking, alcohol, all those are things that can make somebody to be prone to erectile dysfunction. Or over sexual activity can also lead to erectile dysfunction because of diseases associated with excessive sexual exposure can also lead to erectile dysfunction.
Thank you very much, sir. Ma'am, what are your thoughts on hormone replacement therapy to help people who are going through menopause? What are your thoughts on that?
I believe that every human being needs to be satisfied, either medically, spiritually, mentally, and otherwise. So for menopause, it is attention needed because of the symptoms that is always disturbing and can make an individual to be so anxious, a woman that was, you saw earlier, maybe her taste is very pleasant, and it's suddenly becoming so irritable, depressed, always tired, and always complaining. So based on that fact, there's something that could be, things that could be done medically. What are there is a question. You need a counselor or a doctor who can advise you on certain facts, not basically medically, but vitamin D is very important because at that time where a menopausal woman sweats a lot, is losing a lot of calcium along with salt. So there is that tendency of osteoporosis, weakness of the bone, easily fractured bone, fragility of the bones. So what happens is that vitamin D could be prescribed, or vitamin A could be prescribed synthetically or therapeutically for such women to take. But dietary, with diet, nutritionally, is what I mentioned earlier. Taking seafoods and doing some exercises and taking a lot of water and going into taking food that is whole grains, like soya beans is very rich, richer than beans. The beans, all these legumes and all these veggie fruits, it goes a long way to help in the management of menopause. And being in a steady environment, and especially if one is so irritated, aggressive, and depressed, continue some light music, read novels, watch movie, travel, change environment, and that will help beside medical treatment. Because more or less, I have not seen a menopausal woman being treated with drugs. But importantly is hot liver oil, vitamin D, and vitamin A goes a long way to subdue those symptoms that could be so distressing and so disturbing. My daughter was asking, when did you start having menopause? I said very early. Before I was 40 years, I was already going to striking menopause. And now, I am already a menopausal woman, even post-menopausal woman, based on my age. But that has not deterred my activity. I have never, ever, I would say so, experienced hot flushes, irritability. I occupy my mind in interaction in the church and also teaching the youths. So I would say more or less, to me, I am not having menopause. Because I am, through God's grace, I am still agile, strong. Momentarily, I'm the chief usher of the church. I walk around. My bones are strong. So I'm really, at this stage, summarily, a menopausal woman, but it hasn't deterred who I was in my 30s.
Thank you so much, Ma. That is quite encouraging to know that what you have experienced. In going forward now, Ma, I just want you to give a word of advice to the next generation, to us who are still younger, who are moving toward menopause, those who are moving towards menopause, those who are in their menopausal years, and those who are now post-menopause. What word of advice would you have, ma'am? Apart from the nutrition, apart from what we've mentioned so far, what other word of advice would you have? We want to, the issue now, ma'am, that we all experience is that we see COVID-19 pandemic had brought into light so many issues. We hear people passing away through underlying medical conditions, and it has really exposed that, yes, we need to pay attention to this stage. We need to pay attention to our health. We need to change our lifestyle. We need to put things in place. So what advice, what suggestions will you have for us, ma'am?
With this period of COVID-19, I believe that this pandemic, even though it's disturbing, one should continue to live a normal lifestyle. Normal lifestyle in what sense? Not smoking too much. No, if you want an individual to withdraw from smoking, withdraw from alcohol, may end up with withdrawal syndrome and may go psychic. So gradually tempering and reducing, because we have seen the effect of disease syndrome in COVID-19 with high mortality rates, really affecting those who had or have background diseases like diabetes. Because with menopause is age-related, aging. So I would really suggest or counsel a lot of women, youths, that number one, their lifestyle from teenage time period, being friendly and choosing the right company who will not, show me your friend, I'll tell you who you are, send you to doing those lifestyle I have just mentioned. Number two, try to be very happy, remain focused, choose what you eat. Food selection is very important. Go online, instead of wasting time with television, movie, WhatsApp, Facebook, find time to download nutritional facts as regards longevity of life in regards to food selection that will really help you to stand the test of time. As I personally, because when I was in England, I never ate oven foods. I never ate oven food or baked food. I cook my food. So I will want you to be educated on type of food selection and what to eat, cooking at home. I know at times hours out of the environment of home takes us 12 hours. Let's prepare our food and go with our food bags to eat. Then, with our own age, we should mind staying indoors reduces the body taking in vitamin D from sunlight. So I will encourage people of my age to walk around, not really jogging, continue with their regular exercise to help burn down their fats, the intravisceral fat, and the one that makes us expand sidewards, and that has effect. Because with that pressure in us, it helps to affect our bones and we may be prone to having fracture. Let us take water more than taking juices. And moreover, take a lot of vegetables, fruits. And I am emphasizing on this because it's very, very important.
Yes, ma'am. I caught it.
Then take a lot of less processed foods, less processed foods, refined foods, a lot of oats, whole bran, fruits and fiber. Take a lot of it. That will really, really help us to strengthen our muscles, strengthen our systems, strengthen our organs, strengthen our tissues, and strengthen our cells, and make us look strong and healthy, living a fulfilled life in order to fulfill our destiny.
Instead of salt in our food, what can we use as substitute, sir?
Not that we should not use salt, but we should reduce to the minimum level.
Okay, minimum.
So people, minimum intake. Not that we should not eat salt, but minimal, to be minimal, because excess salt leads to high blood pressure.
Okay.
So we should cut down the level of salt we put in our diet. We should use crayfish, use onions, use carrots to make the food tasty and to make the food presentable.
Okay.
And attractive.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. That has been quite enlightening, what we need to be aware of as we grow older and the things that we need to put in place I think we need you to go around our community and start teaching us what you do, what to put in place, ma. And thank you so much. God bless you. We quite appreciate the time you've taken to enlighten us on this particular subject.
We really enjoy the session.
Oh, fantastic. I'm happy, ma. And you've really educated me, ma'am. You've really educated. So I'm going to start putting in place all those things you've said today. And I hope that our show will go far and out, that people will hear what you have to say today and make those changes in their lifestyle. So that we can all live well, enjoy our life, enjoy our latter years, in good health and prosperity. That is the prayer I pray for everybody on birthdays. I said, God, happy birthday, many happy returns in good health and prosperity. Health is wealth. Thank you so much, ma'am. And hopefully when I come to Nigeria, I will be able to visit with you.
And you will eat my food.
Of course, ma'am. I have to eat that food.
Thank you very much.
I have to come and eat the food by God's grace, ma'am. By God's grace, ma'am. You live long and prosper, ma'am. And sir.
Same to you.
Same thing. God bless you, master. God bless. Thank you very much. God bless. Bye-bye. So thank you very much for watching our show today. And I hope you've been enlightened by what we've heard from Professor and Mrs. Udosen. And please use the advice. It will do you good. Thank you very much. Till next time. Out, Olajumoke Adewumi.